Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are across this great wide world of ours. I want to talk a little bit about just being persistent in your career, being persistent in your goals and objectives. And I've talked previously about this, but it's really critical to to always be persistent in your goals. In other words, what I'm saying, when you're persistent in your goals, you set, for example, I want to have $1,000 in the bank at the end of September. So you come up with a goals and objective, how to achieve all that, and then you move forward, and you by assessing this. And the way I do this is I assess it at the end of the week. In other words, I take a Sunday, and though technically a lot of people would say Sunday is beginning of the week, I'll take a Saturday or Sunday, but predominantly it's a Sunday. Look at it and say, yeah, this is where I'm at, this is where I need to be, and access, where I'm at. So in other words, say if I want to by the end of September have $1,000, and I need to, excuse me, excuse me, but the goal here is you need like $100 a week. So you assess where you're at in that, and say some weeks will be better than the other, but you average out $100 a week. So after 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you look at it. You say you're supposed to have $1,000, and you look at it and you say, well, I have $200 or $250. Then you have to increase that amount that you need to have during the week. So in other words, even when you're persistent with your goal, you need to always, what I call is check it, or what I call, you have to always do a assessment as to find out. And it's the same thing with, like for instance, I'm taking a couple of law classes beginning August 19th. So my goal is to assess where I'm at, where I want to be, and where I want to achieve by a certain amount of time. So in other words, and it's like today is the 20, what is it, the 24th? So in essence, I've got less than 25 days. In other words, I've got approximately about 3.5 weeks before classes start. So I have to assess where I'm at with this. And though this semester I'm going to take 11 credit hours, it's going to be broken down into 6 weeks. In other words, the first half of that, their classes are 6 weeks. So the first half I will be taking approximately 4, which will help me get motivated again because I finished my PhD. So I need to get motivated with classes again. But the second half of that is I will be taking 7 classes, which is very doable as well. So in other words, I'll take 4 for the next 6 weeks, and then take 7, which will be a 3 and a 3, and then I think it's a writing class that I want to take on law. So in other words, what it would be is I would be working. So really, the first part of my schedule will be a little bit light, but then the second half will be a little bit more intensive. So what I'm doing is there's always that saying, you prime the pump. So in other words, what you try to do is prime the pump and put things into an order that is very achievable and doable. And the old cliche, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. In other words, what I want to do is achieve this in a certain amount of time without, what's the word for it, causing me too much social griefs, too much mental grief, but yet be able to have downtime as well. So in other words, what I'm trying to do is adjust this. Some weeks will be better than others, and I know that going into that. And you have to always go into knowing that some weeks will be better than others, and then move forward with that. So in other words, what I'm doing right now is priming the pump, as I said a few minutes ago, and then moving forward to that. And then the goal is with persistence. And I said you reflect, you assess your goals. But once that is done weekly, then you can move forward and say, I need to get this done, that done, and this done, and then move forward with your goals and objectives. And the other goal for me is also as well is where do I see this going, or what do I want to achieve? And part of this is I got 2 YouTube channels, and then moving this forward to where I want to be. But then also what I want to do is, I want to get back into the dating scene as well. So the goal here is the reason I want to do that as well is the fact of the matter is that'll help with the schooling, because it really helped with the schooling when I was finishing my PhD, that I could take a day time, and at the time I was dating somebody, but we would do something on a Saturday or Sunday. So then I have to reflect on where I want things to be as well. And part of this also is my diet that I have to look at. For instance, next Tuesday I'm going to go get a physical, find out about losing weight. One thing for instance, that I got into now again, I was getting flax cereal, which I probably will get flax cereal again, but then also I will get flax bread. These are just things that will help, with the calorie intake as well. Cut back on the coffee intake, though I like coffee, but I do drink a lot of tea. So, but it would be that as well. So, in other words, what I'm trying to do is assess this. And then, like I said, I assess this predominantly on Sundays. But like I said, there are days that I even assess at the end of the day and say, did this work? Did that work? What did I need to improve? What I didn't need to improve, and et cetera. Because it's part of the reason in life, and excuse me on that, my throat is getting dry, is that you need to assess where you need to be, because you got to be persistent in where you want to achieve in life, because you're not given a second chance. And in other words, I shouldn't say a second chance. You only have one life, but you got to make the most of that opportunity, what you have right at the present time, because you don't know what the future holds. All you can know is what is held in the present. You can't look back. I had a few people, friends of mine last week, look at me and said, I can't look back what happened. I was talking at work and said, you can't look about what happened in the past. You can't worry about what happens in the future. All you can deal with is the here and now. So what you can do with is make that adjustment to the here and now and move forward. And I kind of feel that a lot of people don't do this in life anymore. And a lot of this I blame on the COVID, or the post-COVID, with people were staying home, that you just didn't, you had to be, a go-getter type of individual. That's one reason that, I can do a remote job from home, because I know that I could do those goals and objectives and get that done, because of the fact that I did it online program. And that's the other issue, because a lot of times people will say, well, I'll take this online program, but you got to be dedicated and set that time aside to move things forward in life. So in other words, once the program gets going here on August the 19th, I have to, assess where I'm at. One thing I am doing is I'm taking the first weekend in August off, just to kind of decompress and start moving things. I'm also going to order my books and then move forward. And the reason somebody said, well, why are you taking these classes? Well, there's a couple courses that I'm interested in, is contracts and specs on the law aspect of it, and then the water rights and regulations. Because I wrote a book, Water Quality on the Reservation, and it was the college or the law program that said, yeah, we'll take you on, help you along if you want to take a couple courses. That'll add more credence to what I want to do, because my goal is, I feel that I'm very capable of working for the Interior Department, and I'm working on trying to reform or defund the BIA. And I think with these couple of classes and what I want to, because this is like a 2-year program in risk management, this will actually help my or enhance my resume, which it's what I told someone the other day. I consider myself a lifetime learner. So you move forward with this, and it actually helps me because I really like to write. I'm working on that abundance book that right now that my daughter's editing, and then I'm working on a new book as well about the study or the of the Bureau of Indian Affairs as it relates to the Secretary of Interiors from the 17th, 18th, 19th. So what this does is it creates for me a niche or that spectrum where you have to be, and it was something that a friend of mine told me a lot of years ago that's always in my mind. Do you want to be a big fish in a small pond, or or a big fish in a small pond, or a small fish in a big pond? So and it's like my theory about that now is I want to be a big fish in a big pond. So that's the analogy that I'm using about this. So at some point in my past, I was a big fish in a small pond when I was working as a quality expert in the out west with Rocky Mountain Power, working with the forestry department on and working on Native American reservations at that time. And I had a past with working doing work with plants, not plants, but with trees. Now I've kind of transformed that and worked into more of a working with the BIA and moving forward. So anyway, these are some food for thoughts about being persistent on your goals and always assessing where you're at. So please like and subscribe. Hit the like button at the bottom there and subscribe. Also hit the super chat. Sometime in the future, I want to get some t-shirts created. I will do that and then have them also on my website. Also, please, I do have a books available. They're on Amazon. They're self-published, quite a few of them. Latest one I've got, like I said, Abundance should be out very soon, probably in the next 2 or 3 months. The other book that it is, Water Quality on the Reservation, which is now available on Amazon. Anyway, folks, I will talk to you real soon and have a great day. And see you real soon. Bye.